My name is John MacBean. I joined the Army when I was in high school back in 1978. My first station, actually was Basics AIT in Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I was a 13 Foxtrot, which is a forward observer, get to call in all artillery, mortar, airstrikes, naval gunfire. After I did hometown recruiter, which was Fort Stewart, Georgia, and I spent about a year and a half there. And then from there I went to Korea. Really learned about how a different nation lives back then. They were pretty primitive back in the 80s, not so much now. After that, my last unit was Fort Campbell, Kentucky, 101st Airborne. Some of the challenges I had to deal with, I went to service just so I would grow up. Going out of high school, wasn't ready for college, wasn't ready to stay in the hometown and just work some sort of job. I wanted to develop myself as a person. So that's the main reason I went into it. When I got out, I had to readjust to civilian life. Because in the Army, we have different roles. I mean, we're a little bit more gruff with each other. We do drink our beer. And kind of both of those things I had to weed out of my personality to move on to the next level. So then I went to school, went to Joliet Junior College, got my associates in science. After that, I went to the University of Illinois at Chicago for biochemistry. Met my wife, got married, kids, boom. Wow, what a change. I was always challenged, number one, to provide for the family. So I was a chemist. I worked for Unilever for about 11 years. And then I went into appliance sales as a part-time job and went to a full-time job because far better money. I was able to move out of Joliet, get acreage out in the middle of central Illinois. I got 14 acres. And really raise the kids where I wanted. The challenge is to survive what the economy did. You know, after 9/11, definitely hit the sales market. I had to do different things then. But the main thing is I always kept myself active. So active was lifting weights, martial arts. Wife and I like to go out. We like to listen to live music, you know, especially the local bands. We like to have dinner. We like to enjoy life. And I realized I had something to share with people. I have a YouTube channel called MacBean Scottish Fitness, and my daughter set it up for me. Everything that looks cool on that channel didn't come from me. But I did a lot of lifting videos, a lot of talks about nutrition, a lot of talks about well-being, and it seemed to resonate with a lot of people. That's how I try to help not just fellow veterans, but anybody who wants to live better. Too often we allow media, I call them the angry channels, whether it's the news, you know, whether it's some person, you know, saying, well, this party's bad, and we allow ourselves to get caught up into it. And really, when you come down to the end of the day, how does it really affect you? If you allow it to make you angry, it affects you greatly. What you need to do is you need to concentrate on yourself. You need to be good to yourself. You gotta be good to yourself before you can be good to others. That means you treat yourself well, what you eat, what you get in there mentally, your activities. Remember, I always say it's called a lazy boy for a reason. Nothing gets accomplished when you're sitting in a lazy boy. Nothing gets accomplished when you're sitting on the couch. Nothing gets accomplished when you're sitting there going, well, I should have. Don't worry about what you should have done. Make a plan, set yourself small goals, and implement those plans, whatever those plans are. You know, I do powerlifting, that's my thing, but you can do yoga, you can do hikes, you can do running. You know, just hikes out in the national parks. We have some of the best national parks in the entire world. How many people have been out there? I try to go to them all. So this is my story to other veterans is, don't let the past define your future. You know, you've got to always make plans, and you always got to try to be improving yourself and trying to overcome the obstacles that you have, whatever they may be, whether they're physical, whether they're mental, whether they're outside pressures. You need, and if you're in an area where the outside pressures are too much, you need to remove yourself from that area. I learned that a hard way. I stayed at a job way too long. Didn't realize how it was stressing me out until I finally got away from it. And I was like, wow, I made that decision years too late. But once again, I didn't sit there and dwell on that. I moved forward. I'm going to continue to move forward. I turn 65 next week, and I'm really, my journey has just begun. So anybody who wants to sit there and move forward in their lives, make plans, set small goals, give yourself more than enough time to make those goals, because that's how you sit there and feel successful. A video game does not make you feel successful. Sitting out on the lazy boy and whining about life does not make you successful. Getting up, If you're tired, get up, go for a half-mile walk, get the blood moving. All right, then sit there and sit down with a pen and paper and write down, this is what I want to do. And I say pen and paper, not your phone, because I think the writing and the hand-eye coordination, in my opinion, does more to stimulate you. But I do wish that all the veterans who are having issues in that, reach out, contact us, let us try to help you with your journey and get you moving towards a more positive way. Thank you for your time.